Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Talking with Sal. I'm here with Andy from Andymy Designs. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure.
I'm extremely nervous.
Oh, don't be nervous. You're fine. You're fine. Plus, we've known each other for like 10 years. So it's totally fine.
Incredibly, right? 10 years. That's a lot.
That is a lot. I think we were like, we're not going to say the age, but we were up there. We were,
No. That's okay. That's fine.
yeah. It's been like 10 years, and I met you on Flickr. And you've always been a really good designer for dolls. And now you have your own business.
I do, and it's been on since for almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. I'm having this business, and I'm living out of so it's really exciting, but it's also uh, I, al- I feel like I always have a knife in the back. Like I need to work, I need to work, I need to do something. But yeah,
Do you like that working from home?
um, to be honest, um, I do because I do it in my own pace. I wake up and I do whatever I want in my own way. Like at 8 a.m., I want to have a cup of coffee. That's great. Nobody's asking me why. Or I can start already at 8 and doing stuff for the dolls. So it's interesting for me. This is the good part. There is also the bad part because I don't know if you remember, I've worked 8 years in the fashion industry,
I know.
and from 7 to 5 p.m., everyone was like in a full on stress, and lots of people were yelling around me. So it was, I got used to all the noise. So sometimes when I work, I need to have music or at least the TV open, or what something around me to make the noise so that I can feel like, okay, I can work now.
That totally makes sense, actually. You're used to talking to people, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're yourself.
Not so much about talking, more like hearing them talk,
Noisy.
like knowing that those people are out there, and I'm not alone in a room, in a huge room.
I got you. So, Andy, before we get more into your clothing line and your website, I want to take you back to the beginning. When do you start playing with dolls and when do you start collecting them?
Playing with dolls. I think I got my first doll when I was three,
What?
3 years old. Yes, and I don't remember too much, but I know I was like showing my mother. It was like these big windows, and I want that. I want that. What's that? That's a doll. Okay, I want that. I was like really attracted to dolls, also the mannequins in the window shops. And I don't know, from that moment it led to this now.
Hmm.
But I was also lucky that I had some neighbors, girls, that had dolls, and Barbie. I remember really good this, and I always go visit them and play with their dolls, and I was like, Mom, I want one. Please buy me one.
That's so cute.
And that was the first time,
Hmm.
but as every parent, at some point they were like, "Oh, you're too old to play with dolls," and I was like, "Oh, fine, I don't want more, fine." But, but first time I went to college, I managed to find a job and I started buying Barbies from the money that I was receiving. I went out to the stores and I was like, okay, I want to buy Barbies because I like them. I was like looking at different pictures over the internet and I was like, oh, this looks so cute. I want one. But yeah, I started this somewhere in 2007.
Sounds about right. So I might know you
So
longer than 10 years.
I think you do because if I remember correctly, I started the Flickr account somewhere around 2007, 2008.
That's when I started.
So I think it's a bit more in the back, a
Yeah, we were like
bit
10
more
years
than
old.
10 years.
We were like 10 years old when we opened Flickr. No, but for real, that's so cool that your parents let you play with dolls, that your mom was so supported because you're from a traditional conservative country too. So that's cool.
Trust me, it wasn't that easy, but somehow I managed to convince them that what I want to do is the right thing to do, and I'm kind of proving that I'm proving this to them now.
That's perfect. I think parents at the end of the day, they just want to see you be successful, and if you're gonna be doing something, as long as you're successful, that's all they really care about, you know.
Yes, unless you're a doctor, you're um, um, ugh, sorry, unless you're a doctor, unless you're a lawyer,
Uh-huh. A lawyer? Uh-huh.
you architect, you make good money. The rest it doesn't matter.
Well, that's the thing I was thinking, just like, oh, I could have easily done any career that's, more money concentrated. But if I was gonna be miserable, then what was the point? I need to be happy.
I know that's what I did because at some point they pushed me towards architecture because I was drawing, and they said, at least go there because you're gonna make money. I was like, but fine. I did um, I did school and I tried 2 years of university, but I then quit because it wasn't my calling. I wasn't feeling it. I was like sad
Mhm.
and it, okay, it's time to stop because it's not for me.
Yeah, if you're not feeling it anymore, I think your mental health is the most important thing, and I'm glad that you took the initiative to do it. And before I get more into your designs, I want to ask you, how do you transition from Barbie to Integrity Toys? Because I think we did it around the same time. You might have done it a little earlier.
Well, as soon as I discovered Barbie, I started to and came back home.
Mm-hmm.
I always saw these pictures of dolls. It was some fashion royalty dolls with the golden swimsuit. It was a line back then. Adele, Veronique, um, who else was there? Isha.
Mm-hmm.
They were had those metallics, corsets, jumpsuits. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember exactly how, but I was like really fascinated by their faces and the expressions that they had, and the fact that they were like posable. And I was like, okay, what's this? I want this, but how do I get this? Oh wait, it's so expensive. Damn it! And back then I started a blog, and a really good friend back then um, was like, "Hey, I have this old body from New Face. It was Lilith, I think, and I have a Barbie Silkstone head, and I put them together, and I don't use this doll, and I can send it to you because it's really interesting what you're trying to do with your fashions, and
Mhm.
So that was my first uh, fashion royalty mixed with silkstone.
I actually remember, believe it or not.
I was like really happy for that, and I was like, then I started to experiment more in this area of fashions for dolls,
I totally remember.
and I was like taking pictures, and like I was really fascinated by it.
Yeah, I
I
remember
think
seeing
I
that silk
called
screen.
her Paris because she was from France. She came from France.
Is that one of your aesthetics, the French girl?
Sorry?
Is that one of your aesthetics that you like, the French look, the French girl?
No, no, I don't know. My aesthetic it's comes from everywhere. Not different, not a certain country, but it's what I see. That's what I capture in my head, and then I pull out something.
And I
I
think
don't
that
know my more like I'm trying to figure out which one, but I also said that it's I like to do high casual, like it's high fashion, but it's casual also, and it's street wearable. Like I can go to the office in this, or I can.
no, and I think that's a big reason that your line is so successful, and that's another reason that your line is so well appealed everywhere because a lot of people, and it happens with my line too, like a lot of people are sick of gowns. A lot of people are sick of the royal wedding look.
Yes,
I love gowns, don't
I
get me
didn't
wrong.
want it to go there.
No, it's like we're just keeping it honest, and I think that's important. A lot of people are sick of gowns. They're sick of the royal wedding suits. They're sick of a lot the Miss Universe pageant dresses, and a lot of there's a big market for that as well. But a
I
lot of,
know.
and they're beautiful. But a lot of people wanted high street, which is what you a lot of what you're doing. A lot of people wanted jackets, they wanted pants, they wanted shorts, and I think that was really smart of you to try to appeal to that market.
It wasn't actually smart. I was like, I want to do this because this is what I like. I want to make stuff that you can actually wear on the street, even as a human or a doll. So every time I think about something, it's like, okay, this one can wear a woman, but can I make it for a doll? And I can. And this is somewhat my process of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was. Now I'm more like, okay, this fashion is nice. What can I do for it for a doll? Um, but
So
I'm
like
still
happy.
picturing that it's wearable for a person.
That's perfect. It's like you went out with your feelings and you went out with your gut and it worked out.
Yes, a lot of gut.
I think
It
that's
was a lot of.
yeah. And I want to ask you, like, how did it came about you starting your line? Did you see a demand from people? Did a lot of people started messaging you like, "Oh, I want your clothes," or how did it start?
I, that I don't remember exactly, but I have a vague memory of doing my first official fashion in. Let me see if I remember this. 2012. And I posted on Flickr, and I was like, okay, if you like this, you can buy it, you can PayPal me, and this was my first shot, and people did came into my DMs and told me like, hey, I like that, I want to buy it. This is my address, and I was like, okay, okay, so I did a good job. I'm excited. I'm gonna continue. So the first time I sold something, I was like extremely happy because some people didn't believe in me and in my wish to my desire to do this, to do fashion for dolls. Like, what's that? That's child's play. You're not gonna make money out of that. And I was like, How do you know? I mean, I've seen so many doll designers, doll fashion designers that are doing it and they're doing it right. Why can't I?
That's
I
crazy.
mean, even now I remember there were some some fashion doll designers back then, Huckleberry, Eric de Bastos. Um, oh, I have another one. I'm missing him.
B John.
Vijan, yes.
Mm-hmm.
And also Cholo.
Yeah, Cholo's amazing too.
And I was like really impressed by what they did back then. And I was like, okay, I want to do this as well. And I don't care how I learn, I'm gonna do it.
Right. And you said you opened 2 years ago?
uh, the official business, yes.
Official business. It's so nice that you say that, and do you recognize the ones that came before us? Because I think in our community it can be really catty, it can be really competitive and really insane. So it's nice to be supportive of each other because we get judged for doll collecting and doll clothing making as it is. So we don't need to be adding extra drama to the community. You know what I mean?
I do. I mean, I still get that bit of jealousy, a bit like, oh my God, he did that. That's so amazing. Why did I think about that? Like, good for him. And then I'm back to my work and focusing on my stuff.
Well, that's human though. Like that's totally human
Yes.
to think that way sometimes, but I think at the end of the day we have to look out for each other. We have to support each other. And
Yeah,
for me, if I see someone talented and I like their work, it's like now like I'm gonna tell people about it because I think it's so important to recognize the talent out there, and I just think it makes for a better environment for all of us.
of course. I mean, us people have to stay together because if there is hate, it's. I mean, we have a lot of hate around us. Why make more?
Exactly. It's we don't want to get wrinkles to you. So Andy, let me talk a little bit about your website. You have your website, and then you have your clothing, but you also feature other designers like Ralph, right?
Yes, I don't remember when I started this, but I was like, I want to make my website something like Net-a-Porter.
Mm-hmm.
Have designers come to me and see. I mean, I had a plan when I first started this. Like, I can do this. I can design for you. I can produce for you. I can sell for you. And I don't know how I came to Rolf, but I was like, hey, you want to sell on my website? It's going to be this. I'm going to take pictures of your clothing. I'm going to promote them on Instagram, Facebook, however I can. And let's see how it goes. So he did his first collection, and it went great. It was nice because we decided to continue working together
Mm-hmm.
and have another doll fashion designer. He's from Romania, and it took me some many years of convincing him to do fashions because I know he's talented. He's doing now. He's finishing the fashion design university. It's about Be Love, and yeah, I'm really happy he decided to do it.
I had no idea that he was Romanian too, because he lives in China. So I knew he was from the area around closer to
Ralph,
Malaysia.
Ralph,
Uh,
it's from if I'm Bulgaria, if I'm correct, but he's now in China. And Be Love, which is my friend Bogdan from Romania. There are two
Okay, he's
designers
from
now
Romania.
on my
Oh,
website.
okay, okay, okay. Thank you for clarifying that. So you have a Bulgarian and a Romanian designer. That's awesome.
Yes,
And
and I'm open for more, but I'm like I try to contact more the fashion designers, but some I think were afraid to risk it
mhm.
because I don't know. Sometimes it sells, sometimes it doesn't, but I'm like a truthful person. I pay you back. I pay you.
And I think that's important. I think all these years you build a reputation for being a reputable seller and a reputable doll collector, and I can tell people that they can trust you.
Thank you. It's I don't hear this very much, so it's very flattering. So yeah,
Oh, well, it's totally true. I want to ask you something. Do you recognize this jacket?
I do. Oh my god,
I have it in my special collection. And
that's awesome.
the reason that I brought it out, it's I'm gonna dissect your work. I just want I just want people to know that his craftsmanship, it's very well made. So I definitely want you to go check out his website because his work is impeccable. When I tell you that he's a professionally trained designer, he really is. And there's a funny story about this jacket. One of my friends bought it from you and she gifted it to me. She said, "There's this guy who is a designer and he makes his own fabric and it's really cool and I think you should consider doing it." And I want to give you this jacket so you can maybe get inspired and get an idea to like start it out on your own. And that's the story of the Andymy jacket.
Oh my god, that jacket, it's old. I mean, if I did that back then, imagine now.
That's what I wanted to say too. Like, if his work was so nice back then, can you imagine now? Like, it's beautiful. So,
And I'm not professionally trained. I've learned it by myself by watching other people. And that's,
no
I
way,
mean,
really?
that's, I did.
Wow. I just assumed
I
that
mean,
in the fashion industry, you were also like,
oh, honey, no. um, Funny story. It's not funny. I was lucky. I was a bit lucky. I was the right person in the right moment.
mm-hmm,
Back in the days, I was always carrying with me sketches of fashions, and I went to a party with some friends, and that party it was more like and like mm, doesn't matter. It was a party.
mm-hmm,
It's hard for me to find the words in English. That's why. So it was a party, and um, a friend of mine was a close friend of my ex-boss sons,
mm-hmm,
and we got to meet each other, and I was like, okay, he was looking for someone to do stuff from leftovers fabric, and I was like, okay, this is my sketchbook. I want to do fashion for those. What do you think? And in like 2 weeks or so, I came back to the company and they said, okay, come work for us. We'll see what we can do. You're going to learn stuff. You're going to work for us. You're going to learn stuff. And you're also going to do your dolls. I was like, okay. And everything that I know right now, I've learned it from there because I was like a tech pack engineer. Like I was communicating with clients, I was receiving files. So I read a lot of the fashion terms. And in order for me to sometimes communicate with the client, I had to understand everything that meant. So I went asking, what does this mean? I translate it like this, but it has to make sense if there is a problem to explain to the client. So it was like hard work, but it paid off. It really did, and I'm really grateful for these past years and for working there because I've learned everything that I know now.
So it was kind of like an internship.
Let's say yes, but I've worked there for 8 years.
Wow. I had no idea that you were
A
self-taught.
lot. I
See.
I was I am I am self-taught, and right now I'm like finally finishing the university in the textile department. So I kind of went to university already with the lesson taught, and right now it's like easy peasy. I'm going through uni like
Hmm.
really fast.
That's so awesome. I always thought that you actually were. I always imagine you sewing from like being a child because your work is so great. So that's so
No,
interesting that you're self-taught.
I really looked at other people and what they were doing with the real fashions, and like that I started learning. And that's how I started also learning about pattern making. I had no idea
You
how
watch
to
a lot of
do it.
YouTube,
Like,
maybe?
sorry?
You watch a lot of YouTube, maybe, or just like blogs?
I did watch some YouTubes to understand a bit, but everything was much more clear when I started working in the company.
Yeah, a lot of people.
Because I mean, I had access to everything, and that was really good for me because I could go anywhere in the factory and see what they were doing. So every little piece of information I was hearing, I was like memorizing it and trying to find ways to use it in my own advantage.
I always tell people that I admire people like you, and like all those that came before us, like B. John, and even the newer ones like Ralph, because pattern making is not easy, and you have to be really smart to work out how to do lining. You have to be really smart to figure out how to do the slopers, and there's a lot that goes into it. So I think that one thing that bothers me sometimes is when you'll hear about someone complaining about a price of a garment and they have no clue, like all the work that goes into it. That's a
Yes,
personal
it,
feeling.
there is a lot of work that goes. For example, some designers do pattern on paper. I know how to do it now, but for me, it's much more easy to do it digitally. So everything that I do, every pattern that I make, I do it in a digital format. I
Hmm.
print it and I cut it.
Oh wow.
This is for me much more easier because I understand the digital part much more faster than the hand drawing of the pattern. So in a garment, there is a lot of work. There is the pattern, the designing. That one, it's also work because, like, okay, I have this fabric. It has to go with this, and I have to add lining. But what type of lining? So each step that you make in making a dog garment, it's the same as a couture house because you put a lot of work into it.
Yeah, and I also can tell that you use really nice fabrics. I can tell that you don't go for the cheaper fabrics. So that goes into account the final price, and I think your prices are great. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. So you just have to say that.
Yes, and I another thing that I really like to do is I experiment with fabrics. I like to do that because you can do a lot of stuff. It's yeah, that's it.
No, it's true, but like I said, I have to mention that there's a lot that goes into the final cost of a garment, and like when I look at the clothes in your Instagram and your website, you can tell that it's really well made and it's really nice fabric, not the not the dollar yard kind. It's the nice one.
Thank you. That's the fabric is very important for me. It's the one that it's dictating the final outfit.
And you have to agree that working with cheaper fabric is way too hard and it's not worth it unless it's an expensive fabric like chiffon, which is horrible to work with.
Oh, honey, I know it's slippery. It wrinkles. It's I know.
Yeah,
I
I
know.
refuse to work with chiffon now.
And I have to mention that I also love to do upcycling. So recently, since I've opened the business, I went and bought clothes from the second markets, from the second store. How I don't know how you call it.
The thrift store.
And I'm using them to make clothes for dolls. Not all,
Uh-huh.
but some are upcycled fabrics.
No, I do that too. Trust me. It's it's great for the environment. It's great for your work ethic, and it's just a win-win in general.
Yes, it is. And also, um, I am a hoarder. When I worked in the company, they always had beautiful fabrics from different clients, and I was like, "Oh, I love this. Maybe I can use it someday to make something." And I was like grabbing leftovers, actually, like this small, and I kept them safe. And now I have them somewhere in the back in the all safe and well put so that I can someday use them.
But that's the best part about it. It's like you can use the leftovers from like a really expensive dress and you can make something really cute in a small scale.
Yes.
But it's so I think it's great that you're upcycling because our
I
planet
mean, I'm not doing too much, but at least I know that I'm doing a bit, and that matters.
yeah, it totally helps the environment. It's because fast fashion is really destroying our planet. So it's great that you're doing your part.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
people still need to be taught on how to buy smart and not cheap and bad. Like, okay, when you pay for something more expensive, you have to understand that it's better quality. It's more attention to details. It's fast fashion is like I've done this, I'm gonna do it again in 1 year, and in that year the fabric will, I don't know, you have a t-shirt, it will swirl around you after the first washing.
yeah, but I can tell that your Sailor Mars t-shirt is great quality.
Uh, I
She's
love
my
it.
favorite too. I wish I was like Mars, but I'm more like Sailor Venus. So
I think I have a bit of everyone. I mean, I'm clumsy sometimes. Sometimes I'm with my head in the books and I'm like reading how to grade something in or a pattern. I think I'm a bit of each.
what sign are you?
My sign,
Mhm.
my
Your horoscope.
Scorpio.
Me too.
We are the creative ones.
And other things, but we're not gonna talk about. Oh, Andy. So back to the upcycling. I actually saw that when I started collecting some of the ladies that sewed for the vintage Barbies and the repros would get the fabrics from vintage ties with really
Yes.
interesting patterns, and that's where I got the idea to upcycle. I would see a shirt that's like beautiful and like it's really vintage, so like no one else is gonna have it, and you're also helping the environment. And I don't know, I thought that was really cute. So I don't know how to recycle from ties. That's past my expertise level. Hopefully someday, but yeah. And do you want to show us some of your designs so that we can take a little look?
Yes. Let's see. You want something old, something new?
Something new so that people can actually buy it.
Something new. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm gonna bring them all closer.
It's like a little piece of heaven right there.
So
That's gorgeous.
I'm gonna put them like this. This is
It's okay, you can hold her.
part of my latest collection. It consisted in 6 designs in 2 different color, in 2 different fabrics. So it was like a mix and match between gold, white, and dark navy. And to be honest, I was really impressed by how well it went. I was like shocked by how good it went with the launch and everything. I was like super excited by how people received the collection. It was like, yay, I'm doing it right. But these outfits are still available in the shop. So if anyone is interested, please visit my website.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave a link below when this goes live so that people can go
And
check it out.
I've recently decided to experiment a bit with lining, and this dress is fully lined, even though it has the frills. I'm not sure how much you're gonna see.
It looks perfect.
It's a net,
Oh wow.
so it's not. It's okay here. I'm gonna undress her. So the dress, it's fully lined, and on the inside, everything it's super clean. And I used tulle,
Wow.
so it's lined with tulle with a stiff tulle, so it holds the shape a bit, so it's not stretch.
Hmm.
I've looked for it a lot.
I
It
know
was really difficult to find something to work.
I know exactly what, and I've never found it find it either. So I'm glad that you found it.
I was lucky.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's beautiful. I love
and
the green
most
tweed. It's very nice.
almost all of my fashions are fully lined. Most. This one, for example, it's half lined. I have the lining up until under the bust
Well, sometimes you
because
can't find it.
it's jersey, and I really liked how it looked on the door, how fitting it was. So
Mhm.
it it looked better without the lining.
I never line
And
mine.
also jersey, it's not necessary, doesn't need to be lined because it doesn't frill and doesn't make such a big mess.
Like tweed. Like tweed is the worst.
Exactly.
And brocade.
Exactly. And every other fabrics.
Yeah, chiffon's the worst one. But You know, chiffon is the devil.
And um, there is gonna be a small launch soon.
Oh,
And this one, it's um, it's an extra outfit I did for the same collection, but I did it only in one color.
that's
So it's
beautiful.
all navy blue with this small lace detail. It was like really into the Edwardian era
No, but it's
as the inspiration itself.
so in trend right now.
It is. I like to keep things trendy and somehow current.
But you know what though, even though you do make them trendy and current, I feel like a lot of the pieces would work like 20 years from now or 10 years from now. And I think that's
I,
important to have
I hope so. I hope so.
durability. Like the jacket that you made so much so long ago. I can still put it on a doll with like some cute skinny jeans or some cute bell bottoms and it's gonna look current. And I think that's the best thing you can do as a designer. Just make everything durable.
Yes, that. And I also love to mix and match. So whenever I do something, think about that possibility also to have a simple design that can work with jean shorts, flared pants, whatever.
And that's what the people
I
want.
mean,
Want
I mean, we
mix.
love to play with dolls. We dress them up. Why shouldn't I give the same to the people?
Yeah, we need
To
to
the
gowns. No more gowns. Yeah, I love to see mix and match pants, shorts. So definitely keep those coming.
I will. I have a new. I'm working on a new collection.
That's what I was gonna ask you next.
Some some people, some collectors, some doll collectors. No, people is too. Some doll collectors um, have received an email
Mm-hmm.
with some hints on what's coming because I have a newsletter. So
Oh,
everyone that is going on the website can join the newsletter and they receive advanced notes like I'm launching a collection or I'm preparing something and I want you to see what I'm doing because I mean I'm excited for it and I want to give the same excitement to the collectors also. I mean the people who follow me, I want them to see what I'm working on and what I want to bring to them.
that's so nice. So everyone that's watching, make sure you sign up for his newsletter. And this is on your website.
Yes, it's on the first page in the bottom. There is a small gap where you can add your email address and everything else will come.
So everyone go check that out. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter so you can stay in touch. And yeah, I just really wanted to showcase you because I think you're so talented. I love your clothing. And
Thank
we've
you
been
so much.
friends for so long. Like,
Oh my God. Let's not go into the numbers.
yeah, let's not go into the numbers, but it's nice that, you know, we might not talk like every day or we may not talk as much as when we first met, but we can still like get together and talk like time hadn't passed. I think that's the best kind of friendships, the ones where you can just take off where you left. And yeah, I just think you're so talented. I love your designs. You know, I've loved them since I met you. And when you put your clothes on the Silkstone Barbie hybrid, and then I made one too. And for a lot of you that don't know, Andy has had his own doll, Miss Luna, and I thought that was really cool too.
Yes, Miss Luna. There were twins, Amelie and Emily. It was a full-on roller coaster moment, but for the moment, Luna doll it's a bit retired. I'm not sure yet for how long.
Yeah, you never know when she
Uh,
might make an appearance again.
but I want her to bring her back.
And
I
she's
want to make another release. Hopefully, it's gonna happen soon.
yeah, and like I said, timing is everything, and maybe now that your clothing is so more well known and more expanded, people want more from you, and I think Adol is great. And if you Google pictures of Luna, she's beautiful, and her clothes were beautiful. So you should be really proud of yourself for doing that.
I I have mixed feelings about it, but thank you.
No, you have to be proud because it takes balls to do something that cool and get out there.
It does take lots of balls and lots of nerves, but I I am really happy I did this because if I want to change something or do something with her again, I know how to do it.
And it's all a learning
I,
experience, I think, too.
I wish I had her with me, but I cannot showcase her. I mean, she's resting.
That's okay. She's asleep but not dead. You never know when she's gonna come back. So,
Exactly,
mm.
exactly.
Oh well, Andy, I really want to thank you for joining me. Like I said, I think you're so talented, and I love the work that you're doing. So I really wanted people to, get to know you better, and the people that haven't checked your stuff out to check it out because it's so beautiful. And thank you so much.
Thank you also. It's been lovely talking to you. I
Likewise,
really did miss you.
me too. But I love that, like I said, even though life gets in the way, it's nice to take
Yeah,
coffee
we come together at some point and catch up on things.
and with our tea
Water.
or water. We like all beverages.
I can still show you some stuff if you want, like exclusive. Exclusive.
Oh, please do.
So this is this is what's gonna come soon, and
Wow.
the fabric for this blouse was upcycled, so it came from another blouse,
Wow.
and this new collection will be very pastel, but in like pink and this sea, um, how you call it?
Well,
It's turquoise, but not turquoise. It's colors. Ugh. Sometimes I get them right, sometimes I don't. Seafoam.
right.
Yeah.
They're beautiful. Okay, that's my favorite.
So it's inspired a bit by the 80s, but still having it current fashion
Modern.
designs, modern, exactly. And these are only three of the next six outfits that I'm gonna bring.
Mm, I can't wait.
Yeah. Yes, yes. Everyone is allowed to see it. They are not finished yet. I'm still working on them. I still have to add the hooks and buttons and smaller details,
Hmm.
but I'm expecting somewhere next month to have another release.
Sounds perfect. I can't wait. The girls look great.
Wait till you see what else is coming. I mean, I'm really experimenting now.
I can tell, and I really like those upcycled fabrics, and they're really nice. So,
And I want to also show you something.
hmm.
For the past 2 years, I've been producing
Hmm.
the fashions for Anouk doll.
Oh, wow.
I've sometimes posted on my website, on my store, on my. I have it posted on my website. I have it post. I've posted in my stories info about her. She is vintage inspired doll. I mean, she was done the same way as a vintage doll was made in the days, and I was really lucky. I don't know, lucky. I mean, I was the right person in the right moment, the right place, and creator of Anuk doll, Nav,
Hmm.
uh, trusted me to produce his fashions for his dolls, and I'm super proud of this project. And it's I mean, if you like vintage dolls, you can take a look.
That's
And
crazy. I had no idea that you did the fashions for a nuke. I thought that you were just, helping him promote them, but that's awesome.
I produced the fashions. He came with the ideas. I did the patterns. I've picked the fabrics. We worked together on the colors and everything. So I'm really, really proud of this project, and we're gonna work together in the future as well.
And they're beautiful. So you know, guys, that the dolls are good, really good quality, but so are the dresses.
They are. Everything is fully lined, and that's my motto.
fully lined.
And yeah, I have more projects coming soon, and most details are on the website. I mean, I also have the another project that I really love. It's the one inspired by a 90s anime, Sailor Moon. It's not you never heard that from me because it's not official and it's a personal project.
She's
It's
my favorite.
the sorry,
She's my favorite. So
she is.
it's my favorite anime.
I grew up with it, and I was like
That's so adorable.
really in love with it. And what I want to do now, it's go through episode by episode,
Hmm.
extract the fashions from there, and pick the fabric and somewhat reproduce them.
That sounds heavenly.
Oh my god, you have no ideas how many pages of sketches I have, like, and I haven't even finished the first season.
Make the uniform for grown people so that I can wear it. I have the legs.
Well, give me the sizes and I will do it.
We'll get to the sizes in private. That sounds lovely. So thank you so much,
Yes.
Andy. And
Thank you. I'm done.
I'm gonna leave
I'm
all
done.
the
I
info below.
promise I'm done.
No, 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 you're fine. I'm gonna leave all the info below so you can go visit him and check out his website. And like I said, he's highly recommended, and I adore you. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you also a lot. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot for me, honestly.
It means more to me that you decided to join us. So stay tuned, guys, and thank you so much for joining us.